Bonjour mes amis, bienvenue dans cette nouvelle interview avec le vampire. Merci de au revoir, regardez. We've almost got it. We're almost at perfection. Gotta hit him with that. We are, it looks like from the title sequence here, we are headed back to Paris. I have not seen the reactions to episode 5 yet on the YouTubes. As always, perpetually behind. Thank you eternally for your patience as I am a one-man show. Thankfully, with the support that I've been receiving, I don't have to worry about too many like part-time jobs. So now I can do my full-time job, which keeps the roof over my head, and then this. So that's been super, super nice. This is like I would like this to be like my job someday, just to entertain, to spread the gospel of entertainment, to media enrichment, enlightenment through horny vampires. Amen. That's a religion I can get behind. I have seen the reactions to episode 5 on Patreon, and very loving, very supportive. We got pretty, things got real. Things got real emotional over there. If you're watching this, then episode 7 is already over on Patreon. You guys weren't kidding. Episode 5 was a darn tootin' doozy of an episode. We flashed back and we found out, we got through some repressed memories and found out what really happened in, say it with me now, San Francisco. We learned, God, that Malloy was basically like held and tortured there with Armand at the helm of all that. Louis got emotional, almost killed Daniel. Armando pulled him off, and then in a fit of everything from rage to emotional, just despair, and just because Louis always struggled with, I think, like suicidal ideation, he attempts it. He attempts to take himself out of the picture, and Armand stops him. And while quote unquote nursing him back to health, kind of has his way with Daniel, and if he had his full way, would have taken him out of the picture by, in a very dark and morbid sense, like convincing Daniel that perhaps unaliving himself might be the most peaceful and resolute option. Luckily, Louis, as the keeper in a way of Armando's heart, stopped it and was like, "I'm not asking you to spare him. I'm telling you to spare him," and then left him with these profound words of encouragement that in present day Dubai, little come to Jesus moment between Daniel Malloy and Louis Dupont du Lac. Malloy realizes the words that he's held with him that he thought were just, a conflated memory from his past was from Louis as encouragement to keep going. And he realizes Louis, although he almost took my life, at the very end of it all, he saved my life. And there's a kinship there. There's always been something about Malloy that attracted Louis and vice versa. But now we have the question about modern day Dubai again. I keep getting back to modern day Dubai because that is the most intriguing storyline for me. The past gives amazing context and it's really great seeing these stories unfold, but seeing the interview progress and seeing this battle of wits and minds at each other's throats and all this. And now the dynamics, the paradigm may be shifting once more as Louis realizes that Armand, again, been perpetuating a certain narrative that he kind of like altered literally like the brain chemistry of both Daniel Malloy and Louis in doing so. It's just so interesting because I feel for Armand, I really do, and I like him. I really like him as a character. But then I've seen some of the all, to be fair, all characters in this show, including, I was about to say with the exception of Daniel Malloy, but no, he's no exception. All our main characters, in some form or another, as far as we can tell, have stooped to some kind of near inhuman depravity of varying degrees, mind you, but they still stoop down to those gutters. The only exception, again, being that like we've only like seen and heard Lestat through the recollection, the odyssey therein, and other people's like flashbacks and stories. I still want to like see Armand in the not Armand, Jesus, Lestat in the present. I would love an episode where we get to follow him as he recalls something for once. But I don't know. If I had to take a wild stab here, I'd say that Santiago is going to try to turn the coven against Louis and company and Armand in that and try to do just a coup overall. Claudia has a new friend. I like her character. Interesting. And some people that are smarter and more well-informed than I am in comments have kind of shed some more light contextually on like kind of what that the historical significance of her as a not just a character but as a person such as her would be in real life given the historical like context as we mentioned previously with the war, fresh wounds from it. But I am ranting and raving. Patreon is early access for all these. Thank you for the amazing support. being here on YouTube is more than enough. Liking, commenting for the algorithm. Once I catch up with season 2 and finish it all, I'm gonna have a long live stream where it's retrospective. Gonna go back over the show. Gonna go down. I don't know about a tier list per se, but we'll discuss it. And I'm going to go to the painstaking task of going through all the comments to discuss, to reflect, to perhaps even debate if need be, and or admit wrongdoing, maybe in my case, who knows. But I do want to do a retrospective video. And also to those that are wondering, yes, this is Leather, and yes, this is Son Lux, who did the music for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I know it's partially covered. Gotta let you know about the drip. Tonight, I'm already one deep, but we have a very, we have a red solo cup's worth of a, let's say, a generous pour. We're switching it up tonight. Not whiskey, but I was craving, gin and tonics used to be my go-to, so I have a full solo cup of gin and tonic. With the lime, Mr. Squidward. With the lime. The gin of choice is Beefeater. I'm pretty sure, because I'm editing it right now, I'm pretty sure I fixed the audio balancing problems and issues from in episode 5, so it should still sound good now. And now for the title that may very well be the longest and perhaps too long for YouTube, like the light by which God made the world before he made light. Oh my God. Dinner with fake Rasheed. Real Rasheed, that's right. Dinner with Real Rasheed.
How did I get the tapes? There was no postage on the package. The bylaws of my co-op say only the mailman can have the key that opens up all the mailboxes. So did you guys get to my mailman? I usually give him a little something for Christmas, but I mean, if he's in on it, then I'm thinking, do I still have that obligation?
I very valid points. I didn't even consider that. How did the tapes get in there? Probably somebody that shouldn't have dropped them off. But I want to say how lucky Malloy is, by the way, to have access to this fine dining, like sashimi, sushi, omakase. Is this in the same building? Like, is this most of the... the circumstances can potentially become dire, and this is a very dangerous environment. But might I say, to be able to have fine dining during the duration of my stay in Dubai, I want to become a gonzo journalist now, not gonna lie. We're gonna have an actual conversation?
I'm going to the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a run for it. Rasheed.
Is RJ back in here now? Oh, Mencken! Pleasure. Watch out now.
They sent a chaperone. I'm sorry. Go away. Rasheed?
He loves the hand soap they use here.
Rasheed?
I wouldn't worry too much about Rasheed.
I like this. We're getting more and more. Now we're cutting away. I'm highly interested by Talamasca. I've seen some people in the comments talking about other spin-off and subsidiary shows regarding the interview with the Vampire Universe. If they are indeed canon, like in terms of they do truly correlate to the universe, while they might not take priority on my list because people have been asking for Dark, and then we're gonna probably do Mr. Robot and go from there. I am definitely down to watch them.
If we replace the couch,
I assumed we would.
the couch, then the table, and the Antio Javelina, then.
How about the Ai Weiwei wallpaper with the Hockney lemons?
Like we're a Ferndale hotel lobby.
The Odd Couple
Okay.
squabbling. Oh boy.
How big is the Talamasca? Do you work with nation states?
That's why you called me here?
You had
Oh.
pictures of me in 1973.
He called him in. Oh yeah. Well, now because they shadow dropped the files. Now because of them, he's been led down the path of enlightenment here, right? By he, I mean Malloy. So are we gonna have? Hang on now. We can have some more information regarding Talamasca. I need to organize my notes. I don't know why they're so bad lately.
Pictures of them. You were a fly on the windshield.
Can you protect me?
From being killed? No. We're particularly poor at keeping our assets alive.
I'm not an asset.
Damn.
You messaged me, I showed up.
I want to get out alive.
You want a book.
I want both.
You fear Armand. You should fear the other one.
What about a selection of Fred Stein's?
That's a fair point.
Tastefully framed.
Oh no, he's bringing up the Fred Stein. Yikes.
Or better not to have so tangible a reminder of Paris up on our walls.
An interview about Paris is a more tangible reminder of Paris than a few photographs.
We're going at it. Little
Leave
jabs.
it there then. Wait for revelation to enter the room.
Wait for
We can help
revelation.
you find a publisher.
I have a publisher.
So they did sell the
Publisher
paintings then.
We'll get a phone call before you turn it in. They will pay you handsomely for your manuscript and bury it. You won't even see a galley proof. It's all good to come out soon enough, and there's a number of us in the Order who think better it happens with Daniel Malloy in paperback than the bumbling governments of the world.
So they're offering to buy it from him in exchange for potentially safe extraction from Dubai. Because now, yeah, he does feel for his life potentially.
What's the ask?
My superiors have a list, a few hundred questions they'd like you to weave into your interview, and I'm professionally charged to press you to include them.
And apart
A
from
few
your charge,
hundred?
I think it would be disastrous. I think you've been masterful. I think if I could swap bodies with you, I'd be running the Order by now.
Huh.
We should be returning now.
Mr. Malloy would like to stay alive, Rasheed.
Then perhaps he should have thrown the tapes away when he found them in his mailbox.
Interesting. Okay, so Rasheed's in on it, and I assume Rasheed isn't gonna. Is he keeping? Would he be keeping it? Is he with the Order? Or is he keeping things? Surely not from the Odd Couple upstairs. I assume Rasheed is aware. I mean, at least aware of this guy. Is he aware of Talamasca? Surely Armand and Louis have to be aware, right?
I'm leaving you.
Whoa, that hair. Real quote unquote Rasheed. What does he know? Whose side?
Tell me what a monster I am, what a vulgar fiend.
I make no judgment of you. I am not interested in you. I'm
I suppose he
interested in
wrote
my
this,
own
right?
vampire nature now.
A flaccid full-length play based on nothing other than the superficial observations of the vampire Sam, his meditation on vampiric existence and enduring.
Strange. I remember you racing back from rehearsals to tell me how ambitious the conceit was.
Well, I was following your advice, wasn't I?
Louis and Armand are arguing more, antagonizing significantly more than he normally does.
Anxieties into our home.
Or you're recalling the events with bias because of the machinations surrounding it.
Malloy's like, he's doing my job for
Lead
me.
with a velvet glove instead of an iron gauntlet was the advice.
Indulge the buffoon, were my words. Feed Santiago his own ego back to him, and smother mutiny with praise.
What does it mean to die?
Smart strategy. So he's taking Louis the Pimp's business advice. But Santiago knows something. So Santiago's holding on to what he's potentially uncovered as, I guess, future potential blackmail. And in the meantime, Armand is letting him kind of have like these more like loftier roles and more ambitious stage play performances, because that Santiago loves it in the limelight, right?
When you can live until the end of the world. What is the end of the world? Except a phrase. I've lived now in 2 centuries, seen the illusions of one utterly shattered by the other.
But I like this though, because like look at how connected they are. Like Sam, because it's Sam. Like he wrote this, right, for Santiago to perform. So this is the plight of the vampire, the one we've heard discussed so often in the show, and I assume in the books of Anne Rice, and just like what it means to be this creature of the night. So I feel like the whole theater is gonna love this one as they're reading this so intently. I know that Broadway productions, like theatrical productions, have their own run, but I feel like in the Théâtre des Vampires, they like went on a little bit too long. Like, you'll be playing this for 50 years. Like, you're going to be doing this show for 50 years in a row. Like, maybe for like 1 or 2 years, but come on. I don't know what the public's going to say about it, unless it's going to be fun, gory, and bloody still, but a self-reflective piece for one vampire, which inherently becomes a meditative art piece for all of them, you know?
Picture a silver clock ticking in a void.
But they're looking at her with like more disdain now, aren't they? Santiago already spread word about her possible, I don't know.
It's quite lovely, Sam. Even more what you're doing with it, Santiago.
Thank you, Maître.
A little bit too kind, huh? Kill 'em with kindness, more flies with honey than with vinegar. Yes, look, they're all shaking their heads at
What
her.
does it mean to die?
I thought I was being clever. Nailing him to the stage, my eyes on him till curfew every night, and petulant members of the coven were free to roam the night.
Monsieur Leonco, Maître wishes to invite him to attend the premiere.
Ah, a lovely mission. Communications with your esteemed patron occur only one way.
Asking when was the last time they were in communication.
Ooh, it's going to get spicy. Oh, dude, if he shows, oh my God, if he shows up, you're goddamn right that the place is gonna burn down. Are you kidding me?
Has there been a lapse in communication?
Dude, he is pretty powerful. Look at this. I don't know if it's all three of them or just Santiago. Dude, it's an impressive skill of the vampire, and especially, I don't know if all of them can do it, but Santiago in this case, not only to be able to, you're rehearsing a new script on the stage, like you're performing and emotionally doing so. Lestat did the same thing in the other flashback as well. The skill to be able to like say one thing out loud and like hold a conversation, but then literally have that mental dialogue as well across large distances to other vampires and be able to still help flex powers.
New Orleans, Louisiana, early February 1940.
Merci, Monsieur Roger.
In retrospect, the buffoon was in the audience.
Like the light by which God
Hindsight's
made the
2020.
world before he made light.
Scribbling in the margins, oblivious to the conspiracy uniting around him.
Happens to the best of us.
Of a clock.
Human. Bravo, bravissimo, ancora.
Really?
Molto
Yes.
bene.
If you were an ancient vampire, you could read any mind you want.
Shit, sorry.
I was in love.
You buy that?
I buy that he'd been in power a long time. You can get lazy.
It was love.
Okay.
Oh, Louis too jaded now, I tell you. Dude, one thing about Louis, he wears his emotions on his sleeve. He doesn't make an effort to hide it either. And when he does try to hide it, he does so disastrously. But it's a very good question. Like, Armand's super powerful. Again, but again, two views to the recollection, right? You're so powerful. You've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, centuries. How could you not, like, hear what they're doing, feel it, sense a coup? And he's like, I was blinded by love. And he's like, or maybe you just got, like, maybe after so much time, you just, like, don't even think to check. You just have an implicit trust, or it's like you assume that you're in a position of power, that your plan is going swimmingly. So why would you, right? It was love.
Okay.
Was it?
And love. He was loving in those days, sure.
Here we go.
Rasheed, did you and Mr. Malloy talk to anyone during dinner?
Just the chef when ordering, sir.
Were you with Mr. Malloy the entire dinner?
He used the restroom for approximately 5 minutes.
Had a piece of halibut that still wanted to swim.
You were not to leave Mr. Malloy alone.
He didn't. Stood by the hand dryer like a creep.
Why do you ask?
What is Rasheed? Whose side is Real Rasheed on? Is he protecting Malloy, or rather, is it he works for Louis? Real Rasheed just lied, and that might have been ordained too, because he was hurling all these questions at Rasheed, of which Rasheed refused to answer and said, "I'm going to use the bathroom." And then up shows RJ from Talamasca, knowing Rasheed, knowing probably the whole inner circle of who like is in and around Louis, who works for him and who like works with him and such, and is like, oh yeah, Rasheed in there, the hand soap. He takes his time in there, as almost as if to suggest, oh, he'll give us a few minutes. Then he gets back and he knows RJ clearly, and then finally responds a little bit like not directly to Malloy, but kind of responds to a question Malloy had, but talking to RJ, and now he's being pressed about it, and he's over here being like, no, I never left him alone. Like, or rather he's saying Malloy went to the bathroom instead. Curiouser and curiouser. What's the end game here?
Love.
Bro's been making that drink for 10 minutes.
Diaries are friends of last resort. I have found one not made of paper and glue. F these vampires. That's her last entry, unless you're sitting on more of those ripped out pages.
I like that line, by the way. Diaries are friends of last resort. Again, as always, Claudia is so well spoken when she wants to be. That's true. I've only ever journaled when I've been in like bad mental headspaces, and not to discredit anybody who uses journaling actively and it helps them. This is kind of my journaling. Like, me in lieu of me being like, hey guys, welcome to this new episode of the podcast. Today's sponsor is Hims and Manscaped. We're gonna talk about, I know that like me personally, when I was in the lowest of my lows, especially when I was younger, oh, you bet your sweet candy ass I was keeping like, I went in and out of phases where first I was writing these journal entries and I was doing like little diaries, and as if I'm talking to somebody and venting, and especially on the more depressive sessions, and then there'd be like audio recollections where it's like
Captain's Journal, stardate,
April 13th.
April 13th.
the last of Claudia's journals.
Unless you're sitting on something.
Thank you, Rasheed.
Behind your encrypted laptop.
Oh.
Madeline, Claudia's immortal beloved. Not yet immortal.
Note to self, everything related to Claudia from this point forward is without written corroboration.
I like that. Okay, wait, so she turns Madeline? Okay, dude, I like how, just in conversation, these bombshells that are dropped narratively, like, you really have to be paying attention sometimes, but...
Just our memories of her.
However porous they come. A little more vermouth next time, Rasheed?
I can make another.
No, it's good. It's just his were better.
The most backhanded compliment. Ah, yes, Armand lived to serve fake Rasheed back when he made my cocktails. No, just something about the way he did it was better. A duality to that assertion, that statement. Dude, Malloy he's playing a dangerous game here. He's testing these waters. He's like purposefully trying to, I mean, I'm sure he feels emboldened, right? Because now Louis is also kind of getting like trying to get under Armand's skin. He's being more antagonistic. He's challenging more of what Armand is saying as well. So I'm sure Malloy feels, I don't want to say safe, but perhaps a little bit secure in the power dynamic now, because instead of Louis and Armand having this lovey-dovey united front, now Louis is probably having a lot of questions, and it's almost like Malloy and Louis kind of leaning more against Armand on this. So I'm sure he feels emboldened by that. I was wondering if she would like maybe turn Madeline. The thought crossed my mind, but I wasn't sure like what kind of circumstances there'd be. But I suppose loneliness is as good as any. Oh, paint another swastika out there. Oh, great. Oh. Nice. What, are you going to assault her now? Jesus. Oh, what's she? Oh, the fact that she's so into this, too. Disgusting. I mean, this is one of those situations where it's like, it's understandable that, like, not the bit, I don't want to be misquoted here. Historically, I get the context with which this crime is now is about to be committed, but also like still just the depravity of mankind. I'm sure Claudia will show up and help out.
Madeleine est pas vieille, on a l'air taquée, t'as vu? Tes voisins sont...
Oh. Well, I mean, I suppose you're right about that. Blood will flow through the cobblestone streets.
On va voir ce que la donner à l'arme, ouais.
Nice. Justice, simple as that. Dude, that door almost took that guy's head off. It's amazing. Now, will she reveal, or does that come later? Oh, good, he's still alive. Now he can bleed out, slowly. Again, we don't suffer those with like, sexual assault and all that. Oh my god, it was the Batman. Oh, she's feeding, probably. Nice, nice. Good, yeah. Pinned to the wall, no less. Got Michael Myers over here. Now now the bloodlust is coming out of me. Now these vampires that I condemn for their... Well, I think the thing is I condemn them for the wanton acts of violence when it's against those that are like... When it's of a pettier nature, right? Slowly bleeding out an artist because he didn't sing the song properly or to your liking, or killing quote-unquote innocent people. But these people, I mean, they were literally like committing crimes, both of the hate crime variety, but also like literally two of them were about to commit sexual assault. So in cases like those, if a vampire could be like a dark avenger, then I'm kind of here for it. Like I'm honestly here for justice, and I'm not normally one for capital punishment. But again, when it's crimes like that, PDF files, whether it's sexual assault or, you know, unjust murder, bury them under the prison, or just let them suffering. I think suffering is pretty good justice. Now, what's her response going to be? I'm curious. Now, are you going to break the coven rule? Yes. Dude is... his soul's leaving his body. Say it. Oh my god. Bella and Edward over here.
I know what you are.
Say it.
Don't run. A lot of noise just happened. Middle of Paris. I gotta clean up. I can do it fast. I can do it right.
I feel like she's one that'll take this in stride. But unless you turn her, you're breaking a rule of the coven. You know, Babe, please. Sweetheart, take a knee.
That's good. Vampire.
Well, so, because the only rule again, what was it? You can't turn, if we're going by coven rules here, and hang on now, what's the rule book? No vampire may ever reveal true nature to a mortal and let live. Okay. So what's to stop a vampire from just like, oh, hey, I'm a vampire, now I'm going to turn you. I don't see it in the rules here. You have to have like what coven? Like, do you have to have approval from your matra to turn somebody? I figure you would, because you're really kind of. I mean, that's the dark gift, right? It's a big deal. But as long as they obey the rules of the coven, right? And when as a coven and being kind of an endangered species inherently, never truly knowing the true number of vampiros, like, wouldn't you want to like grow your ranks and numbers? I don't know. It's a good question. Again, whenever I ask about like vampiric lore, I'm given polite corrections and affirmations to the effect of Anne Rice's world of vampires is it's not a significant deviation from there are many deviations, and there are like more in her universe kind of universal rules and laws and such. So, but no, please tell me, like, in terms of if you're a member of a coven, can you just like, as long as it doesn't go against other rules of your particular this, I'm sure other covens are different. In this coven with the 5 rules that have been put out, I don't see why her turning Madeline would be against the rules, but I assume you would probably need approval from Matra, but maybe not. I don't know. Vampires are born of drama. It's all messy, right?
Hey, you seen Armand?
All these little looks. Shocker, right? All the drama from the drama department. Well, he's also not a member of the coven, so I get it.
Watch. I'll sell it for 5 times the price in a year. 30 times if he keeps drinking and dies.
And what then?
Reinvest.
More vols?
More vols.
Clearly it works because they're still dealing art in modern day Dubai. And you can, if you can just be around for centuries, then yeah, you can like find promise. That's not a bad strategy, right? That explains so much about how vampires have all this money. Interest, accrued interest and savings. You stick it to the banks, right? Stick a good chunk of money in it, like in some savings accounts, and just wait for the time to pass by. But in this case, this is kind of smart too. Is that if you find some potential, if you have the eye, like you find these up and coming artists, you procure their artwork, wait for them to get more famous than die, and then just make a lot of money selling their art.
Real estate, dividend stocks with compound interest.
Yeah, see, exactly. Money,
who is
wealth.
going to fly your plane?
I'll fly.
The first vampire capitalist, the first vampire pilot.
Why not?
Not the first.
Take off your clothes.
Let's start. Oh.
I am going through Sam's new pages.
Clothes off, face down in the coffin. You can read them to me while I fuck you.
See, it's the I understand this all too well though. Oh man, look, I took that test back in the day, and I swear I'll stick by it. I took it in the recent years, and it says switch. But I tell you, man, the same way that I can empathize with Roman Roy and his degradation and all this, his affinity for that, this is especially if I'm speaking to that previously aforementioned toxic relationship that I had. This was the one language that we always took solace in, the one language that always worked. Oh man, oh no, it's bad. But yeah, I'm Armand. I feel you, bro. I feel you, buddy. Playing right into Santiago's clutches. Yeah, look at this. She's taking it well.
What's blood taste like?
You've bit your lip before.
No,
not like that.
What's it like to drink blood? Is it like?
Look at that. She has
drinking life itself?
A literal light in her eyes.
Warm, thick. It's not the answers to life's mystery. It's food. I need it.
And me?
She's so into
Right now?
this, fascinated.
I can't lie. I watch it slide along your veins.
Oh, okay.
Take a sip.
Bad girl.
No.
Pourquoi non?
No. Pourquoi
Because once she starts, you can't stop her.
Yikes. Yikes.
Is the dressmaker you supposed to run out of time?
Yes, I'm the forbidden friend.
Malin, this is Louis. Louis.
She's reading one of your diaries in my coffin.
I won't tattoo.
She says another word, I'll break her arms and throw her out the window.
Pull up a chair. Let's start again.
I'd like
Let's just turn
a couple months
Louis?
when you don't tear things down
This is
or
Madeline.
things up. I had you
that
covered.
lavender dress I wore a while back. She's funny, she's blunt, and it's a long story, but I killed in front of her.
But here's the thing, though. See, the amount of empathy that Louis may or may not extend towards Claudia's situation. Look, I distinctly recall a distraught Louis coming over to Lestat being like, please, feeling guilt for his actions and killing a major political figure in town, with Claudia, this little girl, in her arms, which, I mean, again, Lestat knew it'd be a bad idea, but he did it for Louis. I'm just saying, like, it's not completely out of the question here.
Is it romantic?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Hey.
You were
Come on.
Lestat's, now you're Armand's.
Or Armand is mine?
I've been a third
Grasping for, oh, geez, the power, man, grasping for it.
all my life. Not saying that to fight, just saying that it's true. I feel like I get to pick one thing for myself, and it's her.
This seems fair to
A
me.
weird white lady I met by happenstance.
I love it. I love it. I was already intrigued by her character. I love everything about this. Like, yeah, let's do it. Why not? It's not romantic yet. Like, oh, you should be happy, Louis. You're getting what you want, and perhaps she gets what she wants here. Unlike you, by the way, this decision's not being made at like her wit's end on a bloody floor of a church that is on fire as you're being enthralled in increasing throes of wonder. Literally, they had a cool, calm, collected conversation after the truth was revealed. This was predicated on a pre-established, healthy relationship, might I add, Louis. Sorry, I'm getting preachy now.
You want a companion?
She does. Yes.
I'm sure Madeline wants a different kind of life.
I never made one before. I'm not sure if I can.
No, not you. Not Lestat's blood. I wouldn't want that for anyone.
Good enough for us.
Not good enough for her.
She swore an oath, trampled on the laws, and I am to reward her for it?
Oh,
To
Armand
every
would...
vampire a dressmaker?
They'll bitch at the moon, mock you in their coffins, but she never fit in. They won't miss her. You think you're happy with me now? Can you imagine me without the burden of her?
Oh my god. I mean, no, I get it. It's a selling point, right? He's trying to sell it so Armand will get onto it, but still, man, that's f***ed. I know for the sake of this conversation, I'm gonna benefit of the fucking doubt here. Louis does not genuinely mean that. I don't think he genuinely means that, but I think in order to sell it to Armand, you have to paint it as such. Like, hey, if we do this, then you get more of me. Maybe the trade-off deal is I'll join the coven even, who knows? But again, this calls into question then, like, I don't know if Armand's even aware of the journaling, but let's say, so she did reveal her gift in front of a mortal and let them live, but like, if we turn them and bring them into the coven, is that still like a violation of one of the 5 core, like, tenement principles?
Paris is yours, Maitre. I ask for this. Respectfully.
Respect comes without a shield. You're a manipulator, Claudia de Lioncourt.
No.
Okay, now we have a little powwow.
Tu aimerais être l'une des nôtres?
Non,
This
je vais
is-
être avec elle. Mais toi, tu peux aller te faire foutre.
They always think they're different. Stronger. Superior. Jusqu'à ce que la solitude arrive.
Monsieur, ça fait
I like her can-do attitude, but I'm actually very curious to see how this conversation will go. Like, this is the... I love this setup here.
longtemps que je suis toute seule.
Tu seras un monstre.
Si tu fais de moi un monstre, tu feras que me transformer en ce que je suis déjà.
Damn. Why do you think you're a monster, though? Also, I'm sorry, what psychopath eats an apple like that? 1. 2, why does she honestly think that?
Without the burden of me.
I said it to get him through the door.
That's what I was saying. There a grain of truth in there, though, Louis?
Did you mean it?
Does it matter? I got the result.
Oh, why?
Getting results.
Louis isn't, oh man, he's regressing into previous behavioral traits. And some of you pointed out in the comments as well, the Louis the Pimp era, back to the rougher thing he was back in New Orleans. That's not the best answer. What happened to the truck monologue, huh?
Is that what you found when you went looking for yourself? Shortcut to the inner things?
That's your nerves talking now.
He's either
Tu vas
broken or
manger
like
des humains comme tu manges
overconfident.
ta pomme?
Je suis un humain et j'aime ma nourriture. Quand je serai un vampire, est-ce que j'aimerais ma nourriture?
Et quand les derniers vestiges de ton époque auront disparu, les voitures, les coiffures, les croyances, comment continueras-tu?
Jeune homme,
You do what every
Personne
generation has to do.
Claudia, he thinks there's something left of my era.
Oof.
He's gonna say yes.
You're stronger. I can feel it.
I am.
Learn more powers.
Harder too.
That's giving you more confidence, yeah.
But you gotta give up something.
It's interesting because like the hardness of who he used to be, the capitalistic businessman that he was, and then it's like he got the emotional intelligence. We already know what his proclivities were, right? But I feel like with Lestat in that relationship, his sexual proclivities, like I think his emotional intelligence and his sexual proclivities were both opened up and expanded. Things like if we give Lestat credit for anything, it's help him, you know, embrace who you are, like minus the whole vampire part of it. But it is so interesting to see his arc from Nolans to Paris and the person that he's been becoming, almost like a different person, not every episode, but as the season progresses, you can tell there's definitely like a change in demeanor. And we especially saw that when he let go of this Silent Hill, like Lestat the Pyramid Head, kind of guilt ghost dream style, where he let go of that and embraced, like, I don't know if you call them the best parts of himself, but these parts of like his personality and his mindset and all like the parts of him that quote unquote work and like kind of meld together best. So there might still be emotional intelligence in there and perhaps like an artist's eye, that almost childlike wonder of, you know, the city of Paris or what life could offer. Like she said, he's stronger, he's gotten more from Armand, similar to what Lestat did, which is like Lestat, people are claiming that he was with Armand or like got with him just to get more powerful, and then vamoose the caboose. People in the comments pointed it out, and Claudia pointed out as well. There's a marked difference in like his demeanor. He's acting with more confidence because I think he feels like he has more power, but also, I mean, literally because he's getting what he wants from it, especially from Armand. Like he's able to kind of ride situations in his favor right now.
To get something.
He's gonna say yes.
Oh yeah, probably. Oh dear. Sister, you do need to take this a little bit seriously, though. This little mischievous raw line.
Comment vas-tu survivre à l'éternité?
It begs the question what I want to do with.
L'homme qui vivait en face, la Gestapo est venue le chercher. On a entendu un coup de feu quand la voiture a tourné au coin de la rue. Et la femme qui habitait plus bas, elle est morte de faim dans sa chambre. Parfois, je le voyais dans leurs yeux, quand ils étaient sur le point d'abandonner. Et moi, j'ai survécu. Moi, j'ai suivi mes instincts. J'ai trouvé l'amour dont j'avais besoin, même quand c'était un amour dangereux. And I have again.
Aww. What I feel like if you're depressed, you shouldn't become a vampire. But like me right now, oh, I don't know, man. There's a lot of pros and cons. I'm sure I could make a whole video contemplating everything. Part of me likes the idea in my headspace currently where it's like enjoying life and the fact that I feel like I feel like every day there's so much to do, so many possibilities, so many things that I could do. And, you know, I'm anxious about it. I think I have chronic anxiety, but there's just always so much to do, and it's a beautiful thing. And that's part of, oh no, see, but that's also part of what gave me confidence back in life was the fact that like it's finite. Feel there's more of a sense of, you know, live your life to the fullest. It won't be around forever. The fact that we get to live when we get to die is a gift in itself. Like we get to exist in this universe. But then I guess the human body or the vampire body can adapt, right? So to live a whole life, to watch the eras pass by you, to watch for centuries society move along and unfold in varying degrees, it would be fascinating. It would be such an interesting experience. There's pros and cons, and definitely a lot of cons for sure, but my immediate answer would not be no. I would give it some heavy consideration for sure. I mean, you can romanticize it all day long, but...
Et que feras-tu dans quelques décennies quand elle se jettera dans le feu?
Oof. Because you've seen it all before, right, Armand?
T'en sais rien?
Yeah?
Peut-être que je suis ce dont elle a besoin pour survivre.
Wow. I admire her tenacity.
He said no.
I said I would not do it.
Maître in the bedroom, maître only when it's hot or convenient.
That's how I took it.
I had reason.
Whoa.
What was it?
I'm surprised.
He had never made one.
Come again?
I have never made a vampire.
You are a 500-year-old vampire. You led the Parisian coven for 2 centuries.
And he hadn't told me.
I did once. He didn't hear it.
He didn't, no.
Also, body language. Notice how they're both turned a little bit away from each other if we're really getting into it. The arms are crossed, indicating a defensive posture and position stance. Again, their tone, just the fact that, and they're both, even the really obvious thing, which is that they're no longer sitting arm in arm, cheek to cheek on a love seat. The fact that even now they are sitting on 2 separate little sofa chairs aside from each other, facing away from each other.
Diametrically opposed foes.
Armand has never made a vampire? That is a shocker. But at the same time, doesn't that kind of make sense in a weird kind of way?
The idea repulses me.
Well, at least we can agree it was a disingenuous act.
I went in there open-minded.
You walked into Madeline's
outrageous
atelier with your mind
Here
made
we
up.
go.
Louis' opinion.
Claudia's opinion.
Let's see. Fuck these vampires.
But she's still alive, right?
Santiago, where's your back to the audience?
Watson over
I've
here.
got an impulse.
It doesn't work. Turn around.
But if we stage it in the round.
And where shall we put the audience? Behind the fucking projection screen?
Ooh, what's up your ass tonight?
Oh,
Is
here we
your
go.
companion stuck up there chewing on your inhibitions like a
Armand, lay down the law.
Can you respectfully find another object to buff?
Always a yes, matron.
Oh my god. Attitude on all sides, huh, buddy?
Projections are our aesthetic.
Or a crutch.
I am the director, directing. A play is a map for production.
No, a play is the script. And there are no mentions in this script of projections.
A play is not just the script. You hush. So much goes into making this. Come on. You've seen the behind the scenes, Santiago. You watched the interview with the vampire behind the scenes. You know.
It's a work in progress.
If it is a work in progress, can I just ask, when the is Guido arriving on the stage, please?
He doesn't. He can't. He mustn't.
Where we left off, Santiago.
Guido is hope. There can be no hope.
You want to write poetry, write poems. This is a stage. We
Have you never heard of Waiting for Godot, Santiago? Come on.
perform plays on a stage.
Is this you honouring the playwright?
And plays require events, Sam. And there are no events in your shitty little play. And Quang and I are fucking dangling up here.
That can be remedied!
We do horror shows so we can eat people. You're fangless.
I love your work, Sam. Apologies.
Well played, maître.
You summoned me.
There's a script on stage, it's yours.
So dramatic, that float. But they're all in on it.
Apologies.
Well played, maître.
Well, he can't read that?
If you look in the filler, in the back pages, strange crimes reported.
A telescopic
Oh,
lens
boy.
stolen from the observatory at Meudon. A film company shooting the crime thriller Port d'Orient delayed when its inventory of color film stock is snatched.
A gang of drunkards hanging off the side of the Eiffel Tower, all facing south by southwest, all muttering in unison. Gone by the time police arrive by elevator.
Crimes all left unsolved.
Just acting out, aren't they? Petty theft. Was there vandalism in there maybe? It seems like petty theft and just debauchery. All acting out against the maître. You're losing control of the coven, Armand, and surely Louis, if you can't smell it, surely Louis can? Like, come on.
Those we make ourselves will always despise us for it. You're going to do it.
Yes,
When?
tonight.
It's forbidden. Claudia does not want his blood.
She doesn't have an alternative.
We could fail. The woman could turn into one of those drooling revenants you saw back in...
Blinded by love.
I want you to witness.
The transformation.
Because
We
it can
are
be beautiful.
companions? Oh, okay.
We can bring one in a good way.
Are you asking or making me?
We always come back to that, don't we?
Okay.
This relationship.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Is it?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Make sure we're not bothered. Yeah?
Dude, the body language with that. It's okay. Quick subtle placation. Hey, cupcake, make sure we're not bothered, yeah? Alright, see ya, maître. It's so weird because I go back and forth between having sympathy and maybe even empathy for Armand in spots. It's a testament to the show's writing, how I can go from loving a character to despising them to feeling lukewarm about them to like just based on what information that I have and like how their stories unfold. Well, he's not making them. It almost feels as I'm reading way too much into it, but like in those moments where Armand is like, "Are you asking me or telling me?" Like it's so curious because the same thing happened in San Francisco. Like, spare Malloy, are you asking me? And he's like, "No, I'm telling you to do it." And Armand, who appears, for all intents and purposes, to be absolutely head over heels in love for Louis de Pointe-du-Lac, like his heart is his. He would probably do just about anything for him and literally has done things for him in spite of the covenant itself. But it's curious how he always puts it that way. It's almost like leaving the option there. That's their dialogue. That's his way of being like, I don't want to do this. If you make me, if you command it, my heart is yours, mon cher, mon ami. I will do as you bid because I absolutely love you. That sits with you. That's a lot to think on right there for me anyway. Because at first I was like, is he inviting the command? Because he's so used to being submissive in so much of his life as a someone donated, as a slave. So much so where it's in his relationships now. If you really want to get into the psychology of it, of which I am grossly unqualified to discuss on psychology, but the question again presents itself like, is that an invitation to be commanded? Is it? Like, truly, I don't mean to try. I mean, I'm past the point of speculation. It's just a genuine, like, penny for your thoughts. Like, if I'm giving benefit of the doubt, it's my initial assertion, which is like, I don't want to do this, but if you want me to do it, I will, simply because I love you. Or is it, rooted deeper into his psychology, centuries of, having to be the reluctant leader, but low key, like, I like being told what to do. It's what I've had to do my whole life. And so I reenact my trauma, I replicate it, and I'm used to it. And I kind of almost have a thing for it. I'm submissive sexually and also emotionally, it appears, perhaps even mentally. So whenever he says that, of which I've heard him say it at least twice now, is it an invitation to be like, like an invitation to be commanded? Anyway. Oh, Chardonnay. Nah, don't overthink it, sister.
Oh, I like this song.
I think you're...
If we don't start.
Yeah, I was about to say you're overthinking it now. But she still wants to do it. She's had plenty of time to ruminate. Think on it.
Alan, if you get scared,
I'm right
you
here.
just look at that light.
Oh.
Listen to my voice.
Buzz.
I won't let anything go wrong.
Yeah, this is quite a process.
It's the blood that made you.
Has Louis done it before? I forget if Louis done it before. I don't think he has, because that's why Armand was asking what if it goes wrong.
Madeline welcomed my fangs.
I hope it doesn't get botched.
The lamb smiling up at the wolf with unsettling passivity.
It's just the life she's lived.
Watched the lamp while I fed on her.
That's good. That's right. I'm turning cold now.
And Claudia guided her softly down the path.
Trip sitter.
Down the dark path.
Just hold on to my voice.
Easy, girl. Easy. Is it supposed to happen like that? She's growing pale. Well, Louis waxing philosophical now.
Drank with reverence. I drank with obligation. Disjointed fragments of Madeline's life filled my head. The pleasures of a sly coupling, the joys of a sunny afternoon, the anguish of an unexpected death.
Imagine seeing a whole person's life. Oh my Jesus.
The rage and humiliation of a trial by mob. But amongst the pastiche of war and desire, beauty and damage, I saw Claudia. In an impossible afternoon light she could never survive in. Claudia, as Madeline perceived her, resplendent, rendered even more beautiful by her beholder. And I knew then, with all certainty, she would be a better companion to Claudia than I ever had. I tore my wrist and fed her the gift.
What a resilient young woman. That was also beautiful, a beautiful sequence. So how'd it go?
Did she take? Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, she is. They're both on their way. I told them to get out of town. They're out of town.
Oh, is this the end of the Claudia arc? She gets a companion. One final gift from brother Louis, from Big Lou to little baby Lou, and then exit stage right, live a happy life together. That's the best outcome for the situation. I mean, if so, good for them. I hope they get to live a happy life together.
Because I can feel her, Madeline, this stranger, my fledgling.
You're first.
What's happened here?
Open my wrist back up. Gagged myself, tried to throw the blood back up. I thought I'd feel like I was losing Claudia. I did not care. I finished the job. Claudia took my hand.
He has
something about being even.
Okay, there's a lot to absorb there. Hang on. So, new vampire power. I don't know if I missed this before. Healing touch. I assume that's older. I'm going to put that in the older vampire category because I can't see a fledgling being able to do that. Claudia took his hand, said we're even, and pieced out. Your little surrogate sister left.
I did not care. You were right.
Give it time.
You will.
She is a difficult one, but one worth having.
Oh, that's sweet of him to say. Even if it is just for
your way back to each other.
What's in the suitcase?
Some clothes, a few books, cutting from a magnolia tree I've been growing.
Are you moving in? Are you leaving?
I could have fought. They might have killed me.
Oh, if they took over the coven.
Hunted the three of you down. I don't know if it will satisfy. There might be hostilities, or the first bloodless vampire coup.
You give up your power for Louis to ensure he...
with the coven?
They gave me a choice. I chose.
That's what you said to me, right? Standing in my blood, stroking my hair.
You know it is.
That's my memory of it. But you were there too. Maybe there's something I missed,
or
maybe there's something you put in there later.
Dude, even Malloy's kind of rolling his eyes like lazy. Malloy's over here like, I'm a journalist over here. Look, there's an odd to this. You can't push it all on your subject at once. You got to ease your way in, Louis. But Louis is so upset and jaded from the San Francisco recollections that he's just digging and digging and pushing and pushing and picking and picking.
Stop it. This is too important a moment in our story for these games.
Oh, is there a game being played?
Oh no, Malloy. Oh no, he's entertaining it too, though.
You've remembered what you did to yourself in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
And you're angry that I erased it.
That's it. Oh, is he gonna... Oh, dude. Not only did he figure it out, if Armand plays damage control and somehow wins Louis back over to his side, Malloy, mi amigo, mon cher, mi amor, we're back to being f***ed, aren't we? Hopefully, Real Rasheed can help you out of a bind. Maybe we're going to have to go over to Talamasca after all. This could... Dude, the tides turn with the wind, huh? All right, Armand, how are you going to salvage this?
I am.
You've no right to be. You asked me to do it.
What?
He's full of shit.
I failed Louis once in my life. It wasn't in San Francisco.
I would never ask you to do that.
The pages I tore out of Claudia's diaries, we did most of those together.
Not all of them.
And the ones I did on my own were to protect me from you, Mr. Malloy. Why did I owe you my shame? Why did I owe you my one act of cowardice? The series of abhorrent consequences that followed.
You're actually all high and mighty when you tortured a man for like a few days?
I spent the rest of my life trying to make up for it. I'll never make up for it. But he forgave me for it.
I didn't forgive you.
Drugs did far more damage to your mind than 5 nights in San Francisco.
It was 6.
Shut the f*** up. Shut the f*** up, you son. Oh, you son of a bitch. You tortured him, man. You tried to convince a man that suicide was going to be a good way, unaliving himself was going to be the way out of here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
My point made. You've a sharper mind as any human that walks. You want an apology? I'm sorry. He thought it was the right thing to do, too.
You were going to drain me, pal.
Belated apology number 2.
Are you kidding me? Too little too late, mon cher.
I asked you to erase it? Yes, after you came out of a shower in our home in Sausalito. 3 days after we abandoned him.
That's to be believed. There's always an answer, isn't there?
Continuing on the record, Mr. Malloy, I was a coward.
A little bit of humility. Who are the pupils? I don't know what it is about the context and the pupils that gets me going, but it always does. Oh my god, I don't know what it is. Damn. I don't know how to feel. When you already don't trust somebody, it's hard to take things they say. I already don't know what to trust coming from him. Given his, I don't, and then like the apologies, like what value does that hold when it seems like you've had so little regard in the past up until then? Well, you apologize now because it seems like it's conversationally appropriate, perhaps thematically in the moment, but like, what, just now you're like, oh, well, I suppose I'm sorry. It's like, wait, fuck you and you're sorry right now. What, where was the sorry? Dude, he said you're gonna train me, pal. His first response wasn't an apology. There's so much to say here. In this one conversation right here, his first response isn't an apology. It is literally, he deflects and he says, oh, well, you know, I didn't do any more damage than all the drugs you put into your system. Beside the point, cabron, okay? Beside the point, yeah. He had his own reckless history and his own demons to fight, but that's not on you to pawn off your like attempted murder as and the torture, the several days of literal physical and mental torture and trauma accumulated. My tinfoil hat theory is he may still inadvertently be responsible for Daniel Malloy's goddamn Parkinson's. But all that aside, that's your first response, and then almost begrudgingly you offer an apology like oozes out of your mouth, and like, oh my god. And then why would I trust anything he says? Why would I even want to like give him the benefit of the doubt if this entire interview, this entire thing is set up on is predicated on a foundation of subterfuge and lies and misinformation, of this whole fake Rasheed, real Rasheed? If this was as genuine as it could have been, they would have welcomed Daniel Malloy back in, and he would have been like, Daniel, welcome back. Here's Armand. Let me introduce you. Now let's go forward. No, literally, we only get truths or revelations, these moments and this information, when characters are backed into a wall, when the truth, the grave outs the truth, and more information is like light is shed or emotional outbursts are had. Then you get the truth about San Francisco. Then suddenly there's the, oh, well, I only did this because of this. Now there's the, oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, here's 2 apologies for you. Words are cheap. Words are easy. I sympathize and in a way empathize with like old world Armand. Like I really do, with his plight, his story. A lot of these characters, like younger Armand from the olden times, Louis in his Nolans years, I've sympathized with a lot. And like Louis in his early Paris years, I've sympathized with. Claudia, on again, off again, I sympathize with her. That's like what I said earlier about like nobody being inherently innocent. Like I've sympathized with Malloy on occasion. I've even sympathized with Lestat, and I really hope I get more on Lestat this season. I want to sympathize more for him and with him, but like, again, only secondhand accounts. But now these modern day characters make it so hard to, like, who they've become, who they are, the secrets they hold, the lives they've led, the decisions they've made, or what they've done.
We've been burying our meals outside St. Denis. Flowers starting to pop up out of the ground.
Flowers growing from the dead, cold things becoming warm.
I saw a dead girl in your mind while you were dying.
Oui, Aimée, my sister.
She the replacement? What?
I saw the same thing that night. We already had it out.
Aimée, we used to call her the family idiot. She would eat pine cones. And I didn't tell her about Aimée because I didn't want her thinking she was, what was your word?
The replacement.
Right.
Fair, but it's also a fair question. It's interesting that Louis jumps to that. He's like, oh, is she the replacement the same way that she was my replacement sister?
So thank you for falling right back into Daddy Lou's shoes. And thank you for never treating me like a child. Take some lessons, Louis.
Damn.
Are you thinking of coming back to Paris?
Trash piles and men who smell like cheese. No, merci. No.
I like cheese.
We're going to Wanda.
Oh.
Wonder.
Travel.
This one. See the straight line to the next X on the map?
This is the X, Louis.
Santé.
Spasible.
How do you like my coffin?
At a gimlet? What is that?
I wake up at night, and the femmes aren't trading insults. Estelle isn't smearing makeup all over herself or humming off-key.
Singing off-key.
No one is forcing me to listen to their gossips or solve their petty crises. It's bliss.
Must be nice.
Still.
Less
We
responsibility.
didn't make it easy for you. I'm sorry
Aw.
for that.
Mature.
You all right there?
I cannot read your mind.
The architects of our...
How did Lestat put
I
it?
made you. That's just the way it is.
Yes, but I feel you.
The apple falls a little far from the tree, huh, Mr. Dupont de Lac? Trying to regurgitate the way Lestat so eloquently phrased it, and he's like, the architects of, well, Monsieur, I made you, all right?
I made you. That's just the way it is.
Yes, but I feel you, Louis.
I feel you too, Madeline.
I told Claudia I can feel your love, huh? And we should see him once more.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah.
I can feel you too.
Seems a little bit healthy. Oh.
Through him.
Oh, is that right? Oh?
Yes, he loves you.
Okay. Okay, well, let's get the hell out of my soul. It's enough affection. I don't need his head getting too big to get out the door.
Come on.
Taking a stretch. Oh, give me another. No.
This is charming, though.
There he goes. Will he get through the door with that big head?
Aw. They're all charming
Why
in
don't
their
you
own
want
way.
him to know how much you love him?
That's a little personal.
He knows, but I'm sure he could hear it. What are we doing here? What's going on, buddy? Is everything freezes? Oh no, it's not gonna end well. Trouble on the horizon. What's in the bag? Oh no.
They gave him a choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et
No.
messieurs,
Oh my. No. Oh, don't you. Oh, you sons of bitches. If you hurt my girls, if you hurt these. Oh, if you hurt these girls, I'm gonna riot. Are you? No. Oh my god. Burn it down. Burn it all down. This treacherous coven. And Armand. Oh my god. And Armand knew. Oh, these platitudes he puts him. Oh my god. Trial. The treacherous and unnatural. Crimes on the vampires, Louis and Claudia, and their fledgling. Only one performance. Oh my god. Are we oh no, are we queuing this up for the next episode? Even worse, even worse.
The divide. Welcome. For 150 years, we here at the Théâtre des Vampires have shown you. But today, we're shunting human affairs aside.
Packed house, no less.
I stand before you in broad daylight at this first ever matinee at the Théâtre des Vampires.
Yeah, someone crack a window.
For your salacious gratification.
Dude, can you imagine this cliffhanger for people? I assume this came out weekly, right? Can you imagine the cliffhanger from episode 6 to 7? This theater that I loved so much. Burn it down. Burn it all down.
Read the crimes for which this iniquitous trio stand accused.
Armand, to your own love. Unless Armand has a plan. Like, Armand loves Louis too much to let this happen. Armand's got to have an ace up his sleeve.
Monsieur Diancourt. Monsieur Diancourt.
Thank you.
Oh my.
The premeditated murders of the vampiress Antoinette Brown and the vampire.
Fucking let's go! Oh my god. Yo. Oh my god. I can think of few times in life when I have not been more excited to watch the next episode of Oh, okay, I'm gonna cry. These are magical moments, and it comes so few and far between because you get through so much mediocrity in shows where sometimes you start a show and you feel like you have to keep watching it, or sometimes you watch a show and it's great and it's just great from start, like each episode. But when you get shows when you're like, holy fucking shit, I have to watch the next one. What's gonna happen next? How can they cue it up? We're not even at the finale, by the way. Like, what? Oh, this is a gift. This is an absolute treasure of a moment. It's not modern day Leon Koa, but we're getting there, man. Dude, the fact that I'm so curious. The fact that we went from like Armand condoning this ultimate betrayal and how this transitions over to Armand, love of my life. I currently live with him and I love him, or I claim. Dude, I'm feeling like Malloy right now. I'm like disgusted and outraged, but also intrigued. I really, really, really hope, man, I want Claudia and Madeline to make it out of all this, all right? Like, they have to. But I think hopefully Armand still has a trick up his sleeve. And if not Armand, Lestat, or maybe if they couple up and they help out, this will be the day. Burn everybody in there, burn down the theater, just burn the coven and move on, all live happy lives. Lestat and Armand both love Louis too much to let something like this happen. They could never, yeah, Lestat beat the ever-living piss. He beat him, but he didn't kill him. I hate to say that as like a caveat here, but like I don't think he could ever like kill Louis, right? And then Armand also, oh mate, you are my maître, right? They gotta have a trick up their sleeves, but what a cliffhanger! And I love it when you get cliffhangers like this in the show. It's normally like a lesser show might save up a cliffhanger like that for the finale episode, but I like shows where it's legitimately good cliffhangers, like between even early season episodes, or we're not like the next one's not the last one,
I think the stakes for Malloy in episode 6 really begin to ramp up. I mean, it doesn't help that Talamasca is telling him that things are getting intense, but also he's really making headway. And he's an experienced enough journalist to know that with powerful people, they're liable to lash out. And so I think, yeah, there's real fear, and you can see it in Eric's performance, that he's still cracking wise, but it may not be quite as convincing.
Imagine a tightrope walker. He knows that he knows how to walk a tightrope, but every once in a while he glances down and a little shiver goes through his stomach.
And God, does he betray it well.
As soon as he gets an inkling that they know, he's already working on how to manipulate it and spin a new web.
Listen to the way that even the actor kind of gives up the ghost here, where he says, finds a way to spin a new web, as if to imply that like Armand will just figure out a way to paint a new picture, to put himself in a positive light, back on the pedestal. This subtle art of emotional and maybe even like very often physical, like mental manipulation.
Louis known for a long time.
Jesus.
Wrong. There's a lie being told, and that penthouse in Dubai is a bit of a prison. And I think Louis and Daniel throughout the years have been like sort of kept things for Armand.
Claudia revealing that she's a vampire shows how comfortable she is revealing that to another person.
I think it's really beautiful that she gives Madeline the choice.
I'm getting hot here. I'm sorry.
To her being a vampire.
They have such amazing chemistry. I was just drawn to what they were doing.
She likes her so much and sees that there's something in her that she's actually like, here's me in all my entirety. What are you going to do now? You have a choice to make.
Louis turns Madeline without doubt because he loves Claudia. And that's what he wants to do for her.
Claudia's very good at reading people.
So there's some truth to that.
She knows that she can convince Louis. The reason that Louis does it is because they're reaching that stage where they're growing apart now, and it's like, oh, okay, so once we do this, we're done.
Damn.
Turning Madeline was a really beautiful moment for Madeline and Claudia. And I was just thinking, like, I just don't want to get in the way. And I couldn't anyway. What they're doing is so magnetic. Working with Kat, who was our intimacy coordinator, we worked on like levels of distance between like mouth to neck.
I like that. Even for this see that goes again into how much that plays into the essence of vampirism, is that we literally hired an intimacy coordinator, not for a sex scene, not for a sexual act even, but for just a intimacy coordinator, an intimate moment. That's the best way to describe this right here, and that's always how it is with vampires.
When we see Louis
Brilliant.
take a bite of Madeline, It's like Claudia's hunger takes over as well, and she gets involved.
I love that scene. I love that relationship. Those two characters deserve more than any of the characters in the show to just be able to live like an eternal
Hopefully
life,
they better.
together.
I will riot. I will riot.
This
This
scene
tragedy
in the
please.
cafe where they like meet up
To find an EX.
It was like a romantic comedy or like a family Thanksgiving. Everyone's getting back together and it's
Yeah, it's almost like there's so many moments in this show where things are too good to be true. Guess what? They like I'm the clown now. They are too good to be true.
awkward and you feel the tensions.
You alright there?
The sets were beautiful. They built
Of course.
a cafe with a band and beautiful lights.
For the Mishka bar, named after my eldest dog.
Oh, she named the bar after her dog. So wholesome. Cool necklace, by the way. The Burb. This is what I'm talking about, man. I've made mention of it before, like in terms of I would love to create on levels like this, but it's both so inspiring but simultaneously overwhelming. But look at this and that concept art, dude. I'd hang that on my fucking wall. That's gorgeous. That's just the concept artwork for this scene. They're building the effort that goes into shows like this when people really give a shit. The effort into you're building this whole set. You're making it seem like I didn't think it was a set. I thought it was a goddamn cafe. And you're telling me that it was built for like one scene? Oh my god, like it's beautiful.
We wanted this almost to feel like a fever dream, but really playing with light and space in a way that connects kind of deeply with what's happening with the scene.
I love it. I love it
I've
so
got to do a
much.
bit of improvising in that scene as well. Got to shout things at Armand.
Filming it was so bittersweet because we were having such a lovely dinner, and then it all goes. Gustav was the vampire that kidnaps Claudia, and you can hear Louis screaming for Claudia.
Louis just like missile focused on Claudia. Like, how do I get her out of this situation?
I think if I had subtitles, I would have noticed that, but it's also very telling that in that moment he's like so concerned about her. That's sweet.
Give massive props to the background actors.
Oh yeah, for freezing.
Just like be completely still in place and just do it again and again and again and again and again.
I'm still not over how they got that face. I'm still not over how in the behind the scenes we learned they got how in the seven hells do you get a horse to stand still for a scene? That like picture perfect, like no like mid-nay, like out of town.
I think Piss doesn't really cover how Louis feels when they're kidnapped.
Oh
Also,
my
returns
god.
for the trial. Thank you. He's back in all his kind of hectic, complicated glory. What is he gonna do?
Dude, when I tell you, I thought I was hyped for episode 5. Oh, not yet. Not yet. Really, I know a lot of you are saying that. Oh, well, when you read the book, the vampire Lestat, you get a whole lot of backstory. Look, man. Listen to me. Come closer. Listen to me. I right now, I'm not reading no books. Right now, I'm watching the show, and all the context I got, all the context I have is this show, and I've been promised more context. I've been promised, like, you would be ashamed of the things you said about how boy Lestat, all these terrible accusations you hurled his way at the last season. Please give me more. I'm hoping next episode they might take the opportunity, if not the next, maybe the finale. I don't know. I want just a little bit of like first-hand Lestat. Give me something here, because as far as I can tell, people are still defending a wife or like a husband beater, basically. I know there's a lot more to it. There's more layers to it. I know vampires are, messy inherently, but as always, the cool thing about pausing as you go and talking about the show as you go, it pretty much talked about everything there is to talk about as the episode's gone on. Another banger for sure. You guys and gals were right. As much as I enjoyed season 1, season 2 has been fantastic, if not phenomenal. And I think it's the fact that more people aren't talking about the show. It's another one of those. You find shows like this all the time. It's like for me, it's like Mindhunter. Like, now my social media feeds know that I love the show, so of course they show me posts related to it, but not nearly enough people talk about Mindhunter. That's one of my hills I die on. I'm still holding out hope for season 3 in the future. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but who knows. But supremely underrated, and the fact that I didn't hear about it until a few offhand comments popped up in my YouTube channel. Thank you again, by the way. I'm so grateful to have this show recommended to me, and I'm so glad I started on this journey, because my oh my, what a fantastic amazing ride it's been. We have 2 more, regrettably only 2 more to go in this season. And these weren't even that long ago. That's the crazy part, dude. And then we all have to collectively wait for saison 3 of Interview avec le Vampire. But in the meantime, thank you guys and gals so much for watching. If you're one of my patrons watching this, cool, you got early access, full uncut and all that. If you're seeing this on YouTube, there's still time if you're interested. Early access for all my shows and reaction content, including this one, and for people in the upper tier, full-on movie commentaries as well. You don't have to do it. It's not required. But if you so choose to and want to support the channel and want early access, full, uncut, uncensored with HD video accompaniment, that's an option for you. As of recording this, obviously the Instagram giveaway is still going on. If you go to my Instagram page, MovieMan101 Pro, there's a very clearly, obviously marked post where if you make sure to be following the Instagram page, not a lot of people are in for this right now, so you have even more chance of winning one of the 3 prizes if you're so interested or want to support Instagram and all that. But make sure you're following, like the post, share the post, and then you will be entered for a chance to win one of 3 prizes, one of which includes a copy of your choice of Season 2 of Interview with the Vampire. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, what more is there to say? Whenever I'm gaming or gaming with my gal, it's on twitch.tv/MovieMan101. I stream by myself or with her. And also, new to Patreon and YouTube now, we've been doing some reactions together, starting with Arcane Season 2. I have highlights of Arcane Season 2 over on YouTube if people want to kind of get a taste for it. And the big moments, it's the least I can do to thank you guys and gals. But if you want the full uncut episode reaction, once again, that's more or less a Patreon exclusive this time around. So, and there will be other shows that are Patreon exclusive, like Edge of Sleep, because there's not enough interest on YouTube for it, which is fine, and other shows and movies, etc. I'm talking too much. Thank you guys and gals so much for watching. Merci de avoir regardé, I believe. Stay tuned for the penultimate episode, not the finale. We get 1 more episode than last season, so stay tuned for the penultimate episode of Interview with the Vampire Season 2. Thank you for your love and support. I'm literally pins and needles. I can't wait. I'll see you then. Love you all. Thank you and goodbye, travelers.